Thank you, Presiding Officer. To ask the Scottish Government what additional measures it is considering to support pupils and teachers who were shielding before the return to school.
Cabinet Secretary John Swinney.
Officer, the guidance which was prepared to support planning for the return to school sets out the particular considerations for children, young people and staff for whom special considerations are required. The guidance is clear that whilst the requirement to shield is currently not in place, those who are clinically vulnerable or extremely clinically vulnerable were able to return to school and work unless they were advised not to by their GP or healthcare provider. The guidance also sets out the need to continue to monitor and review these matters and to plan ahead for any potential localised outbreak.
Alex Cole-Hamilton.
I'm very grateful to the Cabinet Secretary for that reply. The Cabinet Secretary will be aware that there are hundreds of teachers and thousands of school pupils who were either shielding or living with somebody who was shielding, and they will all be feeling understandably particularly exposed as we move into a partial lockdown. On this, the day that Scotland recorded its highest ever daily incidence of coronavirus infections, can he advise the Chamber as to what the tipping point is in terms of community transmission, at which he feels that it will no longer be safe for these students and their teachers to remain on school, and what additional measures is he planning to protect them?
Cabinet Secretary.
President Officer, the emphasis in my first answer on the guidance that has been published is designed to assure Mr Cole-Hamilton and those on whose behalf he advocates that the guidance assumes that there is specific consideration given to the circumstances of any individual who faces any form of clinical challenge and who therefore may have been shielding in the previous arrangements. Those approaches should be pursued by individual schools with the support of local authorities to make sure the needs of staff or pupils are met. In relation to the additional point that he's raised in his supplementary question, obviously we listen very carefully to the advice of our clinicians, the work also of the National Incident Management Team to provide us with guidance on what are the appropriate steps that we need to take in relation to any localised outbreaks that take place. And of course the Government has taken a number of these steps in relation to particular situations in Aberdeen, the West of Scotland, Dumfries and Galloway, and of course yesterday we announced more widespread changes to the arrangements that are in place.